Let's take a look at problem 1.8. So these are the assigned problems. We'll revisit where we're at 1.4 through 1.7 and 1.10 after these are finished. So we'll do the assignments in the order, and then we'll go back and look at the optionals. So again, anything that says optional, would recommend you watch. There'll be some good information. Uh, And if you're looking towards taking the CSWA exam, the goal is to do all of these items and put together the strategies that will allow you to succeed. So this part is symmetric. What would be the front plane through the middle, and the right plane also through the vertical middle. So horizontal, vertical, and if we draw this from the front, putting the origin at the center, that means that we're going to extrude it in two directions, in forward and back. All right, so we have the tools to do all of that, and we can make this a little more efficient by generating the center line and then mirroring across that geometry. The side could be a mirror, but chances are we'll just open up a sketch on the interior and extrude the two ribs out through the sides. So as you're looking at these geometries, breaking down the shapes and the sizes, trust your gut. The whole goal is to see the shapes, come up with a strategy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work so well, and you're building into your toolbox the skills that uh, will um, will keep allowing you to progress and get better. So we're going to start on the front plane. I'm going to slip into my habit of front plane and sketch. So that puts on to put this on the center, then I'm going to generate a center line. All right, we can start with the line and then make some adjustments to the check boxes, but from a selection standpoint, thinking center line is going to be for things that we mirror, and when we get to revolves, making cylindrical shapes, conic shapes, then we'll want to think in the terms of the center line. So the only difference between a construction and a center line, um, or a regular line, is this checkbox. The construction and the center line are the same. So you'll see the center line designation, but it says for construction, so it's just the way that they're describing it. And we want infinite length. It's just easier to deal with something that I'm not going to run out of. And we make it vertical, so whatever the limits, whatever the size of this sketch, the infinite length will will take care of that. So I'm looking to make this coincident to the origin, so as I get closer it does that little snap. I see the yellow box with the coincident inside of it, and we go ahead and click. And then I don't need another center line, so we can either accept and accept, or right click and go into the accept. So occasionally this doesn't snap completely, and you can just grab it, left click, select, and drag it away and back, and that will allow it to snap to the origin if it stays blue. Most of the time it will snap immediately. So let's start drawing our profile, and we're looking at this front shape. So pretty much from here over, line, 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 line up to an angle. And I'm not concerned about um, their center line being a little bit smaller. The infinite length, when we draw these, and I'm doing the click drag, when we draw these, I'm just trying to get the geometry on the screen. The dimensions, the relations, all of that will take care of itself. So we can either hit the escape or right click in the select button to get out of the line tool. And we're going to let's hold off on the dimension just a bit. Okay, so selection time. We've done the select, control, select, but we're at a place where I want to select everything. So if I go left to right, and it doesn't matter top to bottom, bottom to top, then everything inside of that window, our window pick, is going to be selected. If I go right to left, everything crossing the window is selected. So that's pretty much what I need to do the mirror. And so we go up to the command manager and look for our mirror entities. And when I click that, I'm going to get an instant result. Now, if I undo that real quick, just so that we see the alternative, if I were to click to do the window selection from left to right and mirror the entities, I'm going to get a property manager that then asks me, what do you want to mirror about? So even if I were to select, control select, control select, control select, and initiate the mirror, I would still need to tell the command what I'm the axis that I'm mirroring it about. So we'll go ahead and hit OK, and it's the same result. It's just a little bit quicker if I've already set up the conditions to mirror this completely. But there are times where maybe I have several center lines, or there is other geometry that is preventing it from going all the way through. So we have 200, and again, this sketch will scale itself. We are finding the 50 on the height, the 125 to the vertex, and it says on the drawing, so right click and a select, it says that this is going to be a right angle, so select, hold down the control button, select, and we'll go to perpendicular. All right, so that gives me a fully defined sketch, and I'm ready to go into the feature to be able to generate this geometry. So we're going to extrude, and now I want to extrude in both directions. So notice that we have direction 1 and we have direction 2. So as soon as I activate direction 2, this will give me the ability to, what do we have for our length, 175. If this was offset, maybe I want to go 75 one way and 100 the other. Direction 1 and direction 2 would allow me to do that. But we also have in our list of in conditions a midplane. And since this is mirrored across or is symmetrical across the the front plane, then midplane is a better choice. So we put in the 175, hit tab, and we get our geometry in place. Okay, so we'll go ahead and accept that. And then there are some things that are, I would say, counterintuitive that we kind of want to sketch on faces that we can see, but there's nothing stopping us from going back to the right plane that is interior to the part and extruding this other geometry in that shape. So let's go select the right plane and sketch, and if you prefer, you can go to the sketch or just into the sketch and select the right plane if it appears. If not, we'll use the fly out trick and go find the right plane. So one way or the other, we're going to open this sketch on the right plane. I do not want to rename it, so we go normal 2, and that starts the sketch. So in this case, we'll just do the center line from the origin to the midpoint, and then we need to start our sketching of the side geometry. So this is only going to come up a little ways, go over, we have a little step there, and we want to leave this open so that when we mirror it, we can add the dimensions, and a quick right click to select. And I'm going to do the same thing, left to right in this case. Since it is not infinite length, it is going to pick everything in the window. Right to left would be everything crossing. And we want to go back and find the mirror, and that gives us the geometry. All right, so we have a height of 15, so selecting between the two lines, we'll go in and select 15. And from 100, because this edge, even though it's basically sitting forward of the right plane, it can be projected into our current sketch plane. So this is valid geometry to add a dimension to. And I grab the midpoint, which in this case it doesn't really hurt, it doesn't help, but I probably would have rather had the line, but we'll go with it. So 100. We have 15 typical on the width. So those build in, and 50 from the side. So again, that edge, even though it's at an angle, it projects a line into the current sketch. And we're going to continue to do select our geometry, place the dimension, enter the value, and hit enter to finalize it. So let's go into the features. We have a fully defined sketch. And the goal is to, if you do not see a fully defined sketch, we'll go through some of the strategies that you would want to use and some of the relations that we can look at. So midplane, we could put in the value, but let's go with one of them. We want to illustrate the up to vertex. So I can stop at a corner, and that will generate one direction, and then we'll show up to surface. Okay, so that gives the solution in one direction. Let's see what through all looks like. And probably need to do through, oh, it didn't give me through all both. Okay, so through all finds the last piece of geometry and basically looks like the same thing as telling it up to surface or up to vertex. So we have, depending on the geometry that we have available to us, we can manipulate these in conditions to get a variety of solutions. All right, so that gives me the geometry. And let's make sure to save this. So this is problem 1.8. And we'll go ahead and save that. Oh, I went from P to problem. All right, so so we want to check our value, and we have 292. Wow, that's a big number. 29. Oh, I'm looking at it sideways. So 928, 250. That seems awful big, but 200, 200 millimeters. That is a pretty big part. So let's go ahead with our evaluate, and we'll do the mass properties. We got 292, 8, 250. All right, we're good on that one. All right, so let's take a quick look. We'll do just a few minutes of let's go with a sketch, and some of the things that happen with our sketch. I'll just do a rectangle. Maybe I'm going to put a window, and let's just say that this goes completely not a rectangle, and I'm going to right click and select to get out of that. So one of the things we want to do with relations is be able to set verticals, and then set horizontals, and then set a vertical. All right, so even though these are moving around, they don't bother me any because they are going to adjust as I add the lines. or the relations. So another thing that can happen that you want to be aware of is if we are drawing the sketch this way and I leave a gap. All right, so the gap is usually very small because I think I managed to click that and it missed by some very small amount and didn't snap. Or it goes a little bit long and leaves a tail. Both of those conditions will not allow this to extrude normally. So in these conditions, you want to be able to use your scroll wheel mouse, the mouse scroll wheel, zoom up on these intersections, and look for those small gaps. If we look at the chain, one of the things on the right mouse button is to select a chain, and it looks like it went all the way around, but that kind of looks like two endpoints. So there are, again, visual clues all over the place for you to be able to work with. So don't get too frustrated. Push, pull, tug. We can move these around, and if they aren't moving as expected, each of those movements, each of those small adjustments are going to give you some clue as to what relation or what dimension is left to apply. So don't be afraid of completely inverting and making a total mess out of this thing, because it's going to happen at times. There's no way around it. It just is part of the process that you're going to see something and the logic's not going to follow it. So with that, we'll finish up this problem.